Hello, welcome to DK Boljat. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm working on a picture of the Columbia River Gorge. This is in Oregon, and I have done the first video and painted the background. Now I need to paint in this foreground here, and I will do that. I've got a few brushes. My palette's quite beautiful. It's kind of mixed up a little bit, but I'm going to use a new color of green. This is from Creative Inspirations, and I'm not sure where I got it, but whoops, we'll just use that. Oh, it's got green in it. That's plenty of green. Don't even know if I need that much. I have to turn up the brightness on my computer screen. Let's see. Tilt it towards me, that's what's going to do it. There we are. That'll work. Okay, so I've got a 20-0 and a 10-0 fan brush. This is a 20-0. The 10-0 is a little bit bigger, which kind of seems like it's backwards, but that's okay. So it's going to be, because 20 is much smaller. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use this and tap in some green in the foreground, but that's going to be later. So I've taken a pencil and drawn in where I want the ground to stop. So I need to put in this bit of the background mountain. And also over here, it comes out a little further, so I'm going to use a finer brush to do that. That'd be the round, and that is a number 2 Blick. I'm going to use that to paint in the outside lines of that mountain back there. It's not a mountain, it's just, I don't know, hills in the gorge. I don't know what they are, but they're not flat ground. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad you're here with me. Paint that in right over the sky, it's fine. I'm going to wet this down and get some more paint off of here. There's plenty. Yeah, and then this little pencil mark in the foreground, that's going to be gray, gray ground. Now there's a mountain in the background that I'm going to put in. It's, again, a mountain? I don't know. They're hills, I guess. I'm going to put that in the background. It's behind this, but it stops short of going any further because it's got the sky, the clouds coming through. I'm just going to paint up over that line of the pencil. And it's just behind that one. So now I need to make some gray. And that gray is going to go in this part in the foreground, but before I do that, I'm going to do the rest of this guy back here, which is more of the burnt umber and ultramarine and white. And if you have both colors on your palette, you'll be able to make the perfect color. These lines are for the trees. There's 2 trees that are in the foreground. There could be more. There is. There's the tops of more. But I'm going to do that for the trees. I don't need to make a whole trunk or get carried away with branches. We'll paint that in. That just tells me where to put it. I'm going to make sure this is over the side too. I think anybody that lives in the Columbia River Gorge or has been there, they're going to recognize this. And that's the main thing. I could bring up this guy too, just a little bit. Doesn't need to be that low to the ground. It's a little bit more blue. I'm putting Ultramarine Blue in there. And it goes right above this notch here. That's kind of the cool thing about acrylic and oil painting. You can paint over stuff as long as you're not going lighter or thinner with paint. That's got to blend out, so we'll just put that and make it, there we go, make that line sort of faded. And then I'm going to come back in later with this color clouds going over the top of this, but first this has to dry. So I've got some on my brush, my fan brush. That is the 10-0 fan brush. Okay, and a little bit of white. There we go. A little bit more, well, it's different, it's different hills. So there's the one way back and back here that's darker, and then there's a lighter one. So there's parts that fade away. Let's do that. Let's bring that in, make that happen. Let's go right above it and put a little bit of light color. So I'm just using a little bit of white in this color. And then I can come in and it goes all the way pretty much to the end. There we go. Yeah, we'll leave that like that. And then I'm going to go darker in the foreground, the edge. Let me get a round brush and get a darker blue. Blue, almost black. And my battery is almost dead on my phone. Hopefully it doesn't die before this video is done. But if it does, I want to say please like and subscribe. Please share this channel with your friends and family. Yeah. And thank you for hanging out with me. So yeah, I apologize if it does cut you off. I charged it on a quick charger, went for a walk and came back and it still needed to be charged, so I wanted to paint and I'm gonna do it. Okay, so this is for water. I just put in some dark shadows of the ground and I'm gonna pull that down into the water. So still water is, the secret to still water is side to side or straight up and down. Makes it pretty easy to do. I can still see my pencil lines too, which is nice. Okay, this is gonna be lighter and darker blue, but right now I'm gonna leave it like that. So I need to put in the next mountain or hill, as I'm gonna be struggling with that one, aren't I? A little bit more blue, and I'll just put in the next edge of the mountain or hill. I have to look up what they're called. Okay. Do the top of it and go up. So this one has a distinct shape. It's going to come up straight and then come up right here, like so. And then over. And I want to leave that light in the background to show that it's another layer of a mountain. And then I need to make the light down here. So I'm going to add white. I hope that makes sense. You know, where it's lighter on the mountain. The value is more misty. It's a lighter color. So I'm going to come in and put that in. Let's just do it. It's right past this little edge here. Make that line. Paint it over. There we go. And then up. And over. And it goes all the way up It kind of goes up a little bit. So these are just little areas that do that. I don't need to do that over here because it's not really close. But while I've got this light color on my brush, I'm going to save it for later and make the water out of it. Add a little white to it to make the water. The water's going to be behind the trees. I can't leave it all blank back there. But I can put in the water right here at the base of this. There we go. I'll just put in the water. Typically I'd use a fan brush, but this painting is so small, I'm going to have to really control where that water is going to go. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's kind of getting chalky right where it's meeting the ground. I'm going to blend that out with a wet brush. That'll help. I'll show you how to do that. Yes, I'm taking out the tree there a little bit. I'm not trying to, but there it goes. It's underneath the blue now. It's okay. We'll have a tree over it, and I know where it's at because I got a little marker right there. Not that I have to, follow this sketch. I just, right before I started, I thought, I'm going to be doing the video. I might as well sketch it in so I've got an idea of where it's going. There we go. I don't normally do that, but I don't normally paint the Columbia River Gorge. I normally paint Mount Hood, which I know like the back of my hand, kind of, like I like it and I know a lot about it. And I've been there quite a few times. So I can paint it much easier than the Columbia River Gorge, which is beautiful, but yeah, anyway. That is why I sketched it in. I don't normally sketch in landscapes. Okay, that's gonna be water. And I'm gonna add more white because it looks like it goes even lighter over here. So we're gonna go right through the tree. There we go. Go right over the tree. Then I'm going to need to remember to paint underneath, meaning right here. Let me skip this up. There we go. Grab some light blue and white. There we are. But yes, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video after this. So that this is if the phone dies while I'm filming this. Which I wouldn't even hear anything. I would just look at it and go, oh, okay, that video is a lot shorter than I thought it was. But you know what? I'll post it anyway. Okay, so this is going to go over that tree. A bit thinner. And then we're going to have to put some grass in too. I almost took out all the blue. I don't want to do that. And on over the side. These are so fun. They're just non-committal fun. I mean, I can just do it, Let's get that. I'm going to get the lines back in there. I just got green on it. That's okay. We'll grab it. Some of the blue. And I'm going to put in the reflection of the hills that are here. Again, side to side. Where those hills are. And I don't need it clear out here. Let's take that out. It's funny, and I think I share it in class. I will have students go, oh no. But that doesn't ever have to happen. Because you have the power to change it, so it doesn't have to stay the way it is. If you're painting it with me, that's what I'm saying, is you have the power to change it. Once you realize that, sky's the limit, right? There we go. It's just going to be to the edge of where this hill is. I'm going to take it out to that. I'm just blending it into the water. There we go. Put that in there. It's okay. We'll get that back. It's all good. We're going to have a little bit of shimmer in the water, so that's going to be white on this brush. Pulling straight down. Oh, and my tree's almost, I can kind of see the line right there, so I'm not worried about it. I could always draw it back in if I had to. Yeah, that's good right there. So I'm gonna blend this a little bit. I'm just touching the brush on it. I'm not moving it around very much. I'm just touching the brush. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then I've got some hills in the foreground here. Now, they're gonna go more gray, so I need to get some brown in there to make it more gray. It will be more gray. It will cooperate. And this mountain is larger. This structure, this, what would it be called? This cliff, this rock formation. There we go. Just putting that in. It's a nice gray. I'm gonna get a little bit lighter gray, so it's got some white mixed in there too. It is not all one color. Get you over the side here. Got that little formation in. It needs more white in parts. I'm just painting around the sides. This one's darker. It's got sort of a little bit of blue in it, more blue and brown. And I'm mixing it up a little bit differently than I normally do. Let's see what color we got here. Almost black. And this is darker than what the background is, so I made that guy too dark, which I'm gonna have to fix. Or just go over it and not worry about it. I think it's still noticeably what it is. But that's a good black, I like that. And we've got that rock formation, which I don't know that it's got like a little bit, parts of it are darker and like there are little crevices growing on it. I'm gonna just green, I'm gonna put trees on there too. I'm just gonna pull that down with a knife. No, you know what? I'll use a brush. This brush is clean. No paint on it. And get lighter gray in parts. I think that's good. I need to add the trees in there. And they're in front of this. So I'm gonna add the grass first. The plains or whatever down here that I put water. I'm gonna put the ground. A little green, a little yellow. And I may need it to be a little bit less green, so I'm gonna add some brown to it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so it comes out past this rock here, and it starts about here and comes out. So I'm gonna put in the grass, the ground, right over that tree. And it might be a little bit too green. I think it might be, so I'm gonna dull it down a little bit. How do I do that? A little bit of red will do it. Red will make it less green. Red grays it down. We want it grayed down right now. So it looks more natural. It doesn't need to be bright green. Like a nice Kelly green right there in front of you. It doesn't need to be that. It needs to be grayed down. And it's going to come on down here too. And I'm going to avoid that rock. There we go. And there's more. And I don't know what else here, but I'm just looking at a picture to do this. I've actually been there a few times. It's just a very windy area. Okay, tapping this out, I'm gonna get brown, add some brown to it. Yeah, I'm super glad you came out and or hung out with me on this video today. It's awesome to be able to paint on a Saturday, and I'll just be able to paint. I enjoy it immensely. And I enjoy doing videos too. Let me flip this up so we can get the bottom here. And how far? This goes all the way to the other side. It's in front of the water. I just need to make a little ridge of it over the water there. Okay. Yeah, that's good right there. Over here, over this with some of the grayed down, brown down grass. I'm just tapping it in. Always level to the bottom of the canvas so it stays grass and not something else. And then we need a darker green for the tree. And look at that. I have to get up to get it. Let's see. It is Blick, and it is artist green. It's a hooker's green. It's an artist paint. That's what I meant to say. I need a knife to do that, to dish it up. The one thing I didn't have over here, a knife and the green. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little bit of that for the trees in the foreground. Let's just put it right here. It's the same except a lot lighter. Okay. I'm gonna put the lid on it so it doesn't dry. This one's doing really well at not drying. Most of them want to dry. And as soon as you need them, they're dry. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of the hooker's green that I just put out here. I know what I'm trying to say here. I'm gonna put a little bit of the hooker's green on this brush. I want it nice and flat, like that. And I'm gonna make a nice trunk out of the green, even though it wouldn't be green. Let's see, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go right about there. Just touching down to put in my tree what it's gonna be, and you're gonna be right here. You can see the pencil line. And it's gonna go all the way off. Because these are big trees. They're right in the foreground. And there's another one right here. Let's go ahead and go right over here and do it. I don't have it drawn in because I knew there was going to be a rock there. Let it down, get some more hooker's green. Just tap it in. And also on the bottom. Okay. I'm just tapping in the tree. And this one might be too perfect. I might have to mess it up a little bit. That would be taking a brush and pulling off some of the color. I can do that. Bring back some of the background. And then I've got the gray, and put that right back in. And I'll go slower on the next tree. Okay, I've got the green loaded up on my brush. It's pretty flat on the edge. I'm gonna put in the top branches now. These trees are so small, I'm just taking the very tip and touch into the canvas. Put those in. A little bit, I need to slow down. It'll be fine. I'm not in a hurry, it's not a race. Yes, I'm talking to myself. But yes, to you too. You want to go slower? It might be the music that's enticing me to paint faster. Okay, that's pretty good, I think. And I'm going to keep going to the bottom of the canvas here and get the rest of that tree in. These are going to be on little easels, unless somebody hangs it on their wall, which they could. Let me see if I can pick up a little bit on that one. I have a nice little 3-0 round. I'm going to wet that down, wipe it off, and pick up the excess paint right here. There we go. And a little bit excess right here. And a little bit up here. Good enough. Green on this one too. Need to put in the rest of the tree. Make sure it's nice and flat. And it's going to have a little tiny top. It doesn't have much. Maybe a little bit on both sides, huh? There's a little one-sided heavy. We'll go ahead and just tap it. Put in more foliage. And on the bottom of the canvas. Yes. A little bit more over there. I think that's pretty good. Well, there's 3 trees, and I can put a couple tops in there, tree tops. So it's not so 1, 2, 3. It's not so structured. Get that in there. Got one right here. Put it on the bottom too. This one's smaller. It's further away. Which is fun. It's more difficult. And there's more treetops right here. Just a little bit of the tree. I didn't put in the trunk, but it's a small tree, it's fine. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna stop, I think, for now. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me. And please like and subscribe to DK Boljat. And I'll see you in the next video. God bless you, my friend.